Cher. I'm the founder and CEO of ShareLove.Fund. Today we welcome our RPYT, Registered Prenatal Yoga Teacher Trainees, to our final series. Weeks 43 through 52 is Series E. We will learn 9 poses and then review this series in week 52. Maybe it'll be a cumulative review as well. We'll see. It's live, so you never know, but it's all going to be good stuff. The pose of this week is wide-legged, seated forward fold. Pretty simple, and it can feel good in pregnancy. I'm going to give Peter Echevello the floor, and he will lead us through a guided practice for prenatal yoga teacher trainees that is prenatal safe. So Peter, when you're ready, please begin, and I'm your student today.
Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nothing greater than having a student and having Ashley in front of us, the founder and CEO of ShareLove.Fund, and thank you for having this platform and offering this training, and for having me as one of the instructors to help guide and also be safe and be here as part of this wonderful, wonderful journey that you have in this platform. So wide-legged seated forward fold, and we don't often say the name of the Sanskrit name, but I'm going to say what the Sanskrit name is.
He's just showing off.
Upavistha, Konasana. Upavistha, Konasana. So it's just wide-legged seated forward fold, but it's good to know what the Sanskrit name is in case you want to know. We don't often talk Sanskrit here. That's, if you want to further your yoga journey and further your yoga studies and you want to further, be able to talk about this stuff in Sanskrit, it's great. But if you're teaching a class and you're telling people, oh, the peak pose of the day is Upavistha Konasana, they're going to look at you with 17 heads. Unless they know Sanskrit. So anyway, enough of my.
Well, I appreciate it because it's really nice to know the pronunciation. So the pose names are in our teaching materials in English and Sanskrit. You'll find that in your Teachable by both names, but it's a treat to have the proper pronunciation.
Yeah. Okay. So. Ashley, we'll start with a seated position. We'll start with easy pose. And we're going to do a very, very, very quick, we're probably just going to work from a couple of sun salutations and then go right into our peak pose of this class. So from here, coming to a nice, comfortable seat, rooting our sacrum down toward the earth and lifting the crown of the head toward the sky, drawing our shoulders over our hips and away from the ears. Having our palms face up on our thighs to relax the shoulders. Pulling the belly in to support our spine. Closing our eyes or having a soft gaze. Softening the space between the eyebrows by softening our eyelids. Parting our lips to relax the jaw. To release any tension in our face. And then from here, begin to take an internal scan of the body. As we take this internal scan of our body, begin to notice what may arise. Notice your breath. Notice the texture of your breath. Notice if there's any tension in the body. To help ease that tension, bring breath to those areas. Use the breath to nourish, to bring fresh oxygenated blood to those areas. And then from here, let's begin to allow our eyes to float open. And just notice how we feel. And then very, very gently, let's make our way into tabletop. And come into some cat-cows with our toes tucked or untucked. Whichever way feels comfortable for you. Actually, shoulders over your wrist, knees beneath your hips. Beautiful. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale and exhale. And then from here, coming into a neutral spine and just swaying your hips side to side to open up those hips a little bit. And let's stay over onto one side and just press your hips over to that one side. Both arms are straight. Getting a stretch along the outer edge of that hip, in this case the left hip. Take a couple of breaths there. And then let's bring your hips over to the right, press over to the right, stretching the outer edges of your right hip. And then coming back to a neutral spine and extending your right leg straight back, foot down onto the ground, pressing into your heel. Yeah, to stretch out your hamstring and calf. You feel that calf and hamstring stretching? Always feels so good. For those ladies that wear shoes or on their feet a lot, this is really a great stretch.
And this can also be a nice prenatal modification for plank.
Yes, 100%. See, we're always trying to weave in care and modifications and nourishment for you ladies. And then from here, draw your right knee beneath your right hip, and then extend your left leg straight back. Another thing you can do from here, if you want to take this a little further and build some heat, actually you can, just to show a little bit, you can lift your right hand, lift the left leg. There you go. Just to add a little heat if you want to start building strength. And just rest this down. Rest the foot down. Yeah, press with the heel again. Beautiful. Now, bring your left knee beneath your left hip. Tuck your toes under as you inhale. Spread your fingertips wide. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful, Ashley. Turn your heels slightly out to engage the outer edges of your hips. So Ashley's able to really get a good grip on this mat because she has this amazing little towel over the mat which helps grip, which helps with grip. So if you're the type of person that puts oil or lotion on your hands and feet, it's a great way to mitigate any type of slipping. Now, step your feet towards your hands. Come to a forward fold. Hug the opposite elbows to get stretch from the back of the neck and shoulders. And then breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale, hands to shins for half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into the feet. Exhale, rise up to stand. Come to mountain pose. Mountain pose. Palms facing forward. Lifting up through the crown of the head. Tucking the chin back. Heel toe the feet a little closer together. Inhale, arms reach out and overhead and interlace the hands. Have your forefingers or pointer fingers pointing up toward the sky. Reach up and out of the waist. Wiggle the hips a little. Yeah, wiggle it just a little bit. There's a song in the 90s. Right? Wiggle it just a little bit. Lifting up and out of the waist. Now from here, bring your feet closer together. Big toes and heels touch. Your feet closer together. Yeah, a little closer. Now reach up and out of the waist again. And then press your hips over to the left. Yeah, as you lean right. Beautiful. Elbows frame the head. So this is a great way to practice balance. Do you notice that actually there? Mm-hmm. Draw your right hip slightly back. Yeah, there you go. A little more stretch. Breathe into this space. So sometimes we weave in a little bit of Bikram or a little bit of Bikram poses. This is Ardha Chandrasana, standing half moon, not balancing, standing. I don't know why they have to have two half moons, but here you go. And then from here, inhale, draw the arms, hands, and head up to center. Exhale, press your hips over to the right as you lean left. Go slow with this. Go slow. So we're practicing balance here. Draw your left shoulder forward, right shoulder slightly back. Breathe, Ashley, a few breaths here. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, draw the arms, hands, and head up to center. Exhale, begin to drop the head back. Shift your weight into the ball of your feet and then lean back. Just a bit. Drop the arms back. Press your hips forward. Lean back. Look back. Lean back. Look back. Inhale. Exhale. Press into the feet. Come to center. Beautiful. Inhale. Reach up and out of the waist again. Exhale. Frame your head with your arms. No. Keep the hands the way they are. Frame the head. That means bring the elbows closer in. That's all. Now, shift your weight into your heels and then hinge at the hips, like bending your knees. Nice straight back, flat back. Hinge at the hips and then forward fold. And then let it go. Beautiful. So again, just another way to move the spine. Another way to move the spine. And stretch, open, extend. Let the head completely go. And then now from here, Ashley, hug the opposite elbows. Bend your knees as you inhale, frame your head. Exhale, come into chair pose with the head framed. Beautiful. This is something we added in.
Should I
Keep
widen my
Nope,
stance?
keep the feet right where they are. While we're practicing a little balance, incorporating a little balance. Do you feel like your balance is a little bit more challenged?
Yeah, I feel like I'm preparing for mono skiing. So any mono skiers on this YouTube have a leg up.
Yeah. So squeeze the legs together, drop your hips down. Beautiful, Ashley. So having the legs together changes the whole practice. Now from here, extend the arms alongside you. And then bring the arms out to the sides, like this, as if you're going into locust. No, alongside you, but out to the sides a little. Yes. Yes. Now, begin to come up to your tippy toes and fold at the hip. Beautiful. Send your hips back and then lower the head just a bit. Good. Skier's pose as we extend the arms out and overhead now. Skier's pose. Beautiful. With the feet squeezed together, legs squeezed together for 3 breaths. 2, 1. Lower the heels, forward fold. Now we just got Ashley's heart rate up a little bit. Again, building some heat. We're just practicing a small little sequence so that we can ease our way. So we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. So why not use the legs? Why not get the legs all strengthened, contracted? Because we're going to stretch them. You're going to stretch those hamstrings. And then from here, actually, in order to start prepping for it, we're going to slide the hands beneath the toes. And then from here, all you're going to do is bend your elbows. Bend the elbows. Now draw your head close to your knees as you bend your elbows.
It's good because it's challenging with the feet close together.
Yes, it is.
So
beautiful, Ashley. Now straighten out the legs. And then press the ball of the feet into your hand to help counteract the balance. Do you feel how that works? Good
yes.
job, Ashley. Good job to adjust. It's about adjusting. Breathe. 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 The more you bend your elbows, the more stretch you get in the hamstrings. One more breath in. Inhale. Exhale, slide the hands out from beneath, and then just come into a forward fold. Heel toe the feet apart just a bit, hip width. Nice, and just relax. Let it go. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, press into the feet. Rise up to stand. Beautiful. So then from here, inhale the arms out and overhead. Exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the right foot back and drop the right knee down onto the earth. Exhale, begin to press into your right shin and left foot, and then lift the arms out and overhead for low lunge. Anjayasana. Draw the arms into cactus. Beautiful. Elbows down to chest height. Elbows down to chest height. Yeah. Flip the palms to face the ceiling. Good. Now, bring your elbows down and press your palms up. Good. What that does, you feel the lower part of your shoulder blades working? Mm-hmm. Good. Good.
for those of you that thought your YouTube froze, it didn't. He's just making us work here.
That's right.
In this pose. Screen is still active.
Yes, there it is. And then inhale, extend the arms overhead. And then from here, take your left hand, reaches for right wrist, and then pull that across the body. Good job, Ashley.
This is a great way to work the big muscles of our glutes and quads in a way that feels safe for prenatal, because at this level, not standing, there's nowhere to really fall.
Okay, then from here, begin to fold at the hip. And then tuck the toes of the right foot under. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower the knees, chest and chin. Inhale. Exhale, come up into up dog or cobra, whatever you're feeling, whatever your arms need. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, left foot forward, forward fold. Hug the opposite elbows. Press into the feet. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, mountain pose. And just rest in your mountain pose. Palms facing forward. Belly in. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. I love what you just said there about the screen did not freeze. It's just work. We like to work, right? Now inhale, arms reach out and overhead. Exhale, chair pose, feet close together. to work on our balance. This helps work on our balance. Now from here, inhale, lift your heels just a couple of inches, just 2 inches. Yeah, and balance, you squeeze. Drop your hips back and down, more. Fold at the hip. Arms come alongside you. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, bend your elbows into cactus arms. Beautiful. Now, inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, pull them down. Good recovery, good recovery.
I'm swimming a little bit.
Good recovery.
It's live, so.
And draw the elbows down. And no. We're gonna go from cactus to extend the arms overhead.
Okay, got it.
Good, 2 more. Good, 1 more. Beautiful. So this is a great version. Lower the heels. Keep bending at the hip more. This is a great version of doing like a locust pose, right? So you're doing locust arms, working on our backs, working on our posture without being on our bellies. Do you get that, ladies? Do you understand?
It's like a prenatal safe variation of locust.
Yes, to work on your back. You can bring the arms alongside you. Good. No. Arms alongside you. Yeah. Yes. Now point the arms back behind you. Point them back. Yes. So you see, that's another way to work. Lower the head just a bit so you're looking towards the top of the mat. Good.
I just want to add a teaching tip here. So some people might think, oh my gosh, that's so much to memorize. Like this is the variation for locust. So there's nothing actually to memorize. It's just trying to understand. Locust is on your stomach like this, and it strengthens the back body. So if somebody can't lay on their stomach, but they want to strengthen their back body, you can think, okay, well, what poses, how can I move to engage my back body? Oh, bringing your arms back like this engages your back body.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a variation for locust. That's not something to memorize. That's just like trying to understand the basic concepts.
Yep.
So then you can use your own inspiration, creativity, and critical thinking skills to have an infinite amount of possibilities to enrich your practice as a teacher and enrich the practice of your students.
That's right. And then you can even interlace your hands here. There's another variation right there. So if you've done yoga over time, you do this in locust as well. And then here's a great pose. Heel toe your feet to hip width apart, Ashley, and come to a forward fold and lift the arms overhead. Yoga mudra. To stretch out your shoulders and strengthen your upper back. It's a great stretch. So many different variations. Now, bring your feet to hip width apart. Release your hands toward the earth. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Lower the left knee down. Going for high, going for low lunge, lift the arms out and overhead. Beautiful, draw the arms into cactus arms. Good. So we're working on our back body, right? As we're working on our front body as well. Now, press your hips forward, drop your head back. Good. So you're getting a stretch in that left thigh, right hamstring, and strengthening your right glute and quad. Couple more breath here. All right, inhale, extend the arms overhead. The right hand reaches for left wrist, pull that across the body. Beautiful. So stretching your left hip flexor, left quad, left thigh. All right, now from here, fold at the hip. Pick up the inhale, tuck the toes of the left foot under. Exhale, step back to plank. Inhale, hang in your plank for 3 breaths. Again, now you can lower the one knee like we did before to modify for plank if you need to, or you could lower both knees. If you lower both knees, you want you to slide your hips back a bit. Lower both knees, slide your knees back. No. Yes. Slide your knees back, now come forward.
Oh, like you,
yes.
like not table, like
yes,
this.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, like the modified push-up version. Okay, so like that or like that.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
All right, now from here, begin to tuck the toes under, inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Step your feet towards your hands, forward fold. Beautiful. I should have held Ashley in that plank for about a half hour. What do you think, ladies? Now from here, press into your feet, inhale, and then rise to stand, exhale it out. Mountain pose. All right, so we've done a lot of work, right, ladies and gentlemen? A lot of work. We stretched out the hamstrings, strengthened the glutes, strengthened the hamstrings, got a little bit of the heart rate going, worked on our back muscles, arm muscles, worked on our chest and core. Now I'm just gonna have Ashley gently come down into a child's pose.
I'm gonna do wide-legged child's pose to make space for the baby.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to show the child's pose adjustment for the sacrum.
Sure. Is it because you want one?
It's because I want. That's manipulation, but I got called out on camera.
No, we're just teasing. Ask for what you want. So what's really cool is that always stand off to the side. You could take your hands, you could press the lower back. Don't go down, kind of pull back. And as her arms are extended forward, you begin to get more of a stretch through here and stretch into the lower back. Then you can take the hands, press the outer edges of the sacrum. This always feels really, really good. You can even do this. You can even press the thighs. This always feels good. New mamas love this. Does this hurt, Ashley? Does this feel good?
No, it's amazing. And actually, so I feel like for prenatal people, they have so much blood in their body, everything feels stiff. So, you know, that thigh adding pressure, I think it can really help with circulation and feel good. And I'm trying to think for people at home, is there anything they can do to sort of get their sits bones on their heels? You know,
I mean, they could tuck the toes in this. That would work. I mean,
yeah. But
or you can. One thing you can do is you can put a blanket.
Oh, on yourself to create a little gentle weight, I guess.
Or you can do this. Can you lift your hips a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, lift more. Lift your hips.
Okay, I see. For people to feel supported.
To feel supported, right? This also take pressure off the knees. Doesn't that feel good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, actually, I think that also it elevates you a little bit. So for prenatal to make space for the belly, I've always been saying use a bolster, but actually I never thought of using a blanket to sort of have supported
right, so
downward.
Come into this, but keep your hips lifted a little. Now, lift your feet.
Oh, that's really amazing.
That gets
too.
the hips closer to the heels as well. So that's another way. And it also, some people, this part of the ankle, they don't like the pressure on it. It doesn't feel right, or it feels like they feel like they're gonna pull something in their instep. So this is a great way to do this too. So there's a bunch of modified things you can do. Blankets, bolsters are great to have around. Doesn't this feel good?
I have to say, this modification, I've never seen it before, so Peter, thank you for sharing your 25 years of experience. But in this modification, it feels so good because my spine feels straighter. Yeah, and so I think that this modification actually is sort of a bridge to proper alignment.
Yes. We just opened up her brain a little bit more here. This feels so good though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, young lady. Now I'm going to have you come into a seated forward fold. You're going to seated with, you're going to come seated, extend your legs out in front of you. But before you do, no, bring the legs closer together. But before you do that, just lift your hips. I'm going to have you sit on a blanket.
Okay.
Just like this.
Student tip, ask your questions in child's pose. Just to get a little extra. Don't ask your questions in dancer's pose.
Some do. All right, how does this feel?
This feels great. So it's just a slight
Lift.
slant, but it's it really gets the spine in line.
Yes. So before we go for our peak pose, I'm going to ask you to, you can come and face the camera. All right. And then just bring one foot in, like bring your right foot in, and then bend the knee down to the ground. And then just, you fold at the hip and reach for, yeah, the ankle, good. This really is great to just open up one hip. If Ashley wanted to, she could take her right hand, press her right knee down. That's always a good way to stretch out the hip, stretch out the outer edge of that right hip. And then from here, very slowly, 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 draw the chin to chest. As you come up, go slow, move slow. And just switch sides. Good job, Ashley. A little tighter on that left hip, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You see the left hip is popping up a little bit. She can stretch it down, or you can slide a block beneath the knee, or a blanket. All right, young lady. And then very slowly, let's begin to make our way up. Beautiful. Now, Ashley, we're going to come into our peak pose. So let's bring the legs apart. All right, and again, it varies with how much stretch you can take in your inner thighs. I always say start easy, right? So maybe this is comfortable. Maybe she's already feeling a stretch. Where are you feeling this? Are you feeling this behind the knees?
I'm not really feeling.
Okay, so bring the feet a little further apart, and then what I would ask you to do, Ashley, is put your right hand in front, left hand behind you, or it doesn't matter, whichever one, and then lift your hips and come forward a bit more. So bring your hips forward and your legs apart. Now you feel more of a stretch?
Yeah.
Okay. Now from here, bring your left hand around. Now, just bend your elbows very simply, and then walk your hands out in front, but with a straight back. Lead with the heart. No, lead with the heart with a straight back. Good. Now bend your elbows, lower your elbows towards the earth, and round your spine to lower your chin, your forehead toward the earth. Beautiful. And you can stay right here. And then I'm going to come and give Ashley some adjustments here, some modifications, just some adjustments, and maybe a modification. One modification you might want for your student, or two, is she can rest her head on a block. That always feels good. It takes pressure off the neck. It also stretches. It also gives room for the belly. So that's one way you can give a modification, which is always really, really good. And then from here, since if the forehead doesn't reach the earth, what you can do also is you can add 2 blocks if needed. But the more you are in this stretch, the further you can fold, the further the body allows to fold. So you can stay right here. This might be just right for Ashley. You can also put a bolster under the belly or under the chest to help support if needed. But I would stay in this pose, believe it or not, 3 to 5 minutes. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale and exhale. And then this is another pose where you, again, you close your eyes and then you begin to soften the space between the eyebrows. You relax your elbows. See how she drew her elbows a little closer to the body. And then you begin to relax the jaw by parting the lips. And then very, very, very slowly, to make our way, to reverse our way out of this pose, I would have Ashley slowly slide her hands beneath her shoulders first. Slide your hands beneath your shoulders first. Keep your head there, keep your head. And then draw your elbows in toward the midline, and then your shoulders towards your ears. Tuck your chin to chest, and then very gently lift, very gently. And then, one leg at a time, use your hands to gather your legs together, like tree trunks. You can slide the block out away from you, and then come into easy pose. Come into easy pose. And then, so when she started easy pose the first time, remember her right knee was a little lifted. Now that remember that right knee was up a little higher. It was up a little bit. So now that she's sitting up and elevated, and also she's stretched out a little bit more, the knees down onto the ground. I'm going to ask you to just draw your shoulders back, lean back a bit. Good. And then have your palms face up. Soften the space between the eyebrows. Part the lips to relax the jaw. And come back to your breath. Take an internal scan of your body. And just notice how you feel. With your eyes closed, draw the hands to heart center, softening the elbows down alongside you. Relaxing the elbows in, relaxing your shoulders, dropping your chin to chest in honor of you being here. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much for your time. Everyone, congratulations on completing week number 43, and see you next week.